Perfect. I like the angle that I got. All right, so folks, how we doing, brothers and sisters? Everybody checking in. I know it's been quite a long time, and I know um, a lot of people is questioning, yo, what's up with this guy? What's up with bro? How he doing? I mean, where's the progression? X, Y, and Z. Well, I am progressing. So are you. Surely give the benefit of the doubt, and it's more like it's all in a work in progress, in which all things is happening by God's speed, right? So ain't no mysticism there. I think that a lot of people are still trying to figure out how this life goes. But I tell you one thing: when we stay focused on the revelations of time, in which time encapsulates and encompasses all things, uh, the more logistical you become and analytical, you will begin to see many things, right? And now you have so many things to factor in within such regard. You have demographics, you have the state that you're in, the city, the neighborhood, the province. And demographics in itself is a big one. In addition to demographics, you look at for those who can study or have been studying phenotype, which embodies genome, and then you learn, this is the perfect place to do it here in New York City. You got all walks of life, which is why we have so much culture clashing and whatnot. And when you study those things, you can learn so much, in which we have already. We learn how this nation of people cook, or this ethnic group of people cook, how they dance, this, that, and the third. Culture, heritage is being shown. And so now, with the essence of time, in which we could study, being analytical and logistical, as I've said before, as many do know, that we are, especially for considerably where I'm from and where I'm at, New York City, in many places, especially in the ghettos, you can see uh, just, just not poverty and everything that poverty embodies, but you can see the stretch of degeneracy. You can see how the more observant you become and you have sound right reasoning and you are very discerning, you see the patterns, you see the games. And so now, I would say, now some people may say, yo, what games you talking about? Be more, intelligent. Be more detailed in what I'm saying here. I think I've covered that before, and if I have to, I want to keep this video short. I like to be concise and blunt at the same time. Uh, it's easy. Take a look at what we had from back in the days, even with sports, music, most definitely, because music, and I've said this before and I'm going to say it again, anything that deals with the art form that represents a person's culture and heritage, music, arts, cooking, well, not cooking really, even though cooking has been quite modern, it was modernized in a way or made contemporary by the different ways that they prepare it and the preparation and maybe ingredients that are used, X, Y, and Z, but mostly music and movies, cinema, right? Always represents a time, right, in which people lived in. That's what music and movies always foretell. So, and then when I said sports, check me out on this. From back then, when I was just looking at a video of the brother Kareem Abdul-Jabbar going up against Wilt Chamberlain and how he was dominating. Wilt Chamberlain was dominating him, and I'm like, look at the size of these brothers that was on that court to what we have today. We can even get biblical if you want to. How, for those who know, there were giants in those days. Bone structure more dense, everything to what we got today. And so we now, like, who's really studying that or who really care? They like, yo, a lot of people would say, look, man, who got time to study and look into that when we got to get this money, pay bills and rent? Well, I understand that. But why are we pretending, not even pretending, I guess we're so oblivious to the fact that we always, no matter what it is, we always got to go back and study. Because we can't know where we're going unless we know where we're from. You know what I mean? Even for those who revere and glorify hip hop. Hip hop in itself is a culture. Take a look at all the great ones we had to where we are today. Another exemplification of degeneracy. So I think a lot of us got caught up. This is definitely going out to all my favorite stars, all my favorite celebrities too, because a lot of people like to talk about them as if they're not human beings. A lot of people like to be prejudiced and biased towards celebrities, especially those of the olden days. And they quick to talk about them, and I think that's because it became conditioned that way. So we did look. No matter how you slice this thing, we're dealing with some architects that constructed these art forms and this way of life. No matter what affluent neighborhood you're in, that's of opulence, that's of poverty, X, Y, and Z, as above, so below. Everybody is a product of the environment, looking to become a producer for the environment. Yes, indeed. Let's take a look at this whole picture. So, but yeah, to my celebrities, I don't praise them, nothing like that. But I have a level of compassion. I got a heart. I think deeply and critically. I'm like, yo, we talk about them as if they meant to get into those positions that they're in when they came out of the hood. And most, come on, New York City, we know many people that came out of New York City ghettos. You understand me? Or low income, just put it, generalize it, low income housing or low income period, to which we were already stigmatized. Think about this. These are brothers and sisters who put their hearts out in their music. They were just saying what they know. Where was the leadership? Where was the cohesion of those who know better to say, hey, look, young brothers. I mean, Farrakhan reached out. He got videos where he went out there, gave lectures and speeches onto the hip-hop community, in addition to others that, Ivan Van Sertima and many people that we can name, that these brothers and sisters that's in the entertainment world, they know of. They acknowledge. So I'm like, yo, we got to stop acting like they meant to be where they at. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, when some things occur, you ought to make some changes, drastically too, considering the collective. But we didn't have that mindset of the real collective. Why? Because as I've said, we're dealing with some architects that have constructed such a world in which we're all pinned to it. Like I said, no matter how you slice this thing, which is why I've always, if you haven't heard it, you're going to hear it now. How come the melanated is living so degenerated when I know that the magic of melanin within itself is of the Creator, divinely. So that's a direct link to the Creator. In addition to what sustains us, Black Don't Crack, all of these wonderful things that they can talk about us and gives us what we have. You know what I mean? So, I mean, we got to deal with a level of compassion, brothers and sisters. I'm trying to let y'all know that this is not just a matter of color. Because when you see the whole picture, trust me, you're going to be like, wow, it's really going to sit you down. And you're going to be like, sheesh. Well, I wish, that's why we always get that saying, I wish I knew then what I know now. And I think the hardest part about learning some serious, irrefutable truths and profound truths is that is that the part where we become, I guess, your spirit become recalibrated and you're acclimating to a new environment where within you first, as within, so without. And as we still dealing with the treachery, the proliferation of wickedness, the amplification of everything that's out here, is a tough thing to. I mean, look, man, it's a tough thing to deal with. And so, for those brothers and sisters that's of good nature and they're on that righteous path, that's not easy. I mean, salute to them. Yes, indeed. We just got to know where to draw the line and continue to learn and master how to be uh, disagreeable without causing injurious harm, and learning how to be, non-violently disagreeable. That requires skill. I think we tend to be too, like I said earlier, prejudiced. It's something about, I can see it out here. There's still a lot of power tripping. We still got a lot of egotistical behavior as to where I know that we all been through something. We all took some losses. And so now when you come to a point where yes, you may have put in some work to whatever degree, and now you have something. Now you have some tangible things to show, in which a lot of people may feel or try to equate to uh, righteous glory, success, with that car in that house. But we gotta take a look at this whole picture. I'm not trying to discount what you have. I'm not trying to just straight bypass your heartaches and your hardships in which we're all facing different degrees of. You follow? It takes a lot of work. I mean, I'm never. I didn't know. I didn't. I didn't even. I didn't know that when you reach. I mean, and reaching my adulthood, of course, is also where I'm at. Who I know, what my circle is, X, Y, and Z. But I mean, I could say all in all, I didn't think that I would. Let's say like in my 20s or whatever. I never thought I would be. Okay, I'm here in my 40s, just starting 41, and I'll be seeing the amount of jealousy, envy, and wickedness within adulthood. Now, don't get me wrong. Look here. I know that in our adulthood is adulthood. Okay, some things adults we may dabble in. You know what I mean? We may indulge in. That's understood. Because some people, when you get to a certain place, you're allowed to do certain things, all in measure. And then what do? We ought to use what? Discretion. But somewhere along the line, as I said before, and I'm going to share it again, is that, I guess, due to the ways of the world and those who didn't want to do the work to enforce law, as I've shared before, whatever the elders don't enforce, they enable. And so now, I can see where windows were left open, doors were left open, and now we just straight, people been blatantly disregarding the essence of discretion. Discretionary usage of language, alcohol consumption, smoking, because whatever the youngest see, they get inquisitive. Music blasting out of your car. See, a lot of people will say, "Yo, it's a little bit too late, man. It's out here already. That's it. What we gonna do now?" Well, if that's the case, well, I don't want to. I'm not trying to be negative here, but if that's the case, then we should just let it be, without re-educating and trying to bring about some kind of reformation. Well, then it is what it is. But trust me when I tell you, man. Well, I'm at 15 minutes. I really want to. All right, no problem. Yeah. So the window's been open. Kids been seeing. Oh, excuse me. Kids been seeing what's going on, and now they are feeling, feeling like they're the adults. I was in Brooklyn, right outside of a Papa John's one day, and these young kids, the young high school kids, were there making noise. Here come this young boy, tight pants, got on the whole, those masks and whatnot. And, he about to light up his. Talking about, yo, I'm a grown ass man. He's like 16, 17. I turned around with the stupid face, like, yo, you understand me? It was a group of them, and they quick to mouth off and get belligerent. Yo, I tell you, it's gonna get more ugly, man. I'm telling y'all, man. Because if it is what it is, then yo, listen here. Hey, so shall it be. So shall it be, man. What I can say to that is, I guess, what do we have? In regards to reformation and trying to re-educate, I don't know what it's going to take, but I know it's not going to get better. It can. What will it require? What will such work require? Those are the questions, and we really need to get together. You know what I mean? A lot of people will say, "Yo, it's too late for the elders. Try to reach out to the youngsters." Let me tell you something. That may sound good, but a lot of them is already considerably chipped. So I'd rather get to the elders, the parents that can lay law down, even if those kids happen to be 18, 21. Because let me tell you something. When a parent talk, first of all, as a child, even in our age right now, brothers and sisters, you mean to tell me you don't got no love for your parents' word? That if they ask or require or of something that you won't oblige, you won't comply, you won't say, hey, okay, yeah, surely, ma, surely, dad. In our age. So what makes it any different for them young ones? So I know the beast is at work out here. What we need to do is call things out, confess. Let's hold each other down. We need to start worrying about this money. I understand that bills got to be paid, car note, phone bill or whatever. I understand that. Trust me, I do. Don't think because I'm not out there and I don't have those kind of financial duties and responsibilities like you do that I'm inconsiderate. That's not the case. Absolutely not. I just happen to foresee and have been shown what's going to be required. And this is a bit of an admonishment. Consider, man. Because I know I have more things to embody. I know I have more things to show and produce. You know what I mean? In which will all become more reputable, not just off of some kind of notoriety or continual notoriety that we have been, I guess, given by the architects. You know, if you can get that. But we got to get this work. We got to get this work. It's going to take a lot to humble ourselves. Humbleness and humility will get us far. It's very difficult. Not too long ago, I got off the air train, and there was a brother that was just He was drugged out, and I could see it. Luckily, he didn't put his hands on nobody, but he was talking crazy. And as we got off, I could see the way he was moving. I could even see it in his legs. That brother was drugged, man. I asked him if he would like the rest of my water. This is a good amount. He said nah. Well, he looked like he needed it. And that's another thing too. Let me just touch on that. Because our European brothers and sisters, they are part of these, they are the agents of the construct too. Not to say that they're devils, okay? I don't get with all that. But they are certainly agents of the construct, many of them. They would like to say, they trying to watch me and micromanage me, micro or macro. And be like, well, what is he giving? What is his deeds? Do he offer anything? Well, let me tell you something. There were times that I can even pinpoint where, like, times I've been to Brooklyn, going to one of my favorite delis, and there were guys who would, I could hear it in their voices, man, and their mannerisms. They've been set there. They've been put there. Trying to all grovel on the floor, please let me get $1. I'm reading it and I'm hearing it, and my spirit like, yo, they've been placed there. This ain't no joke, y'all. Some brother just standing out there with the cup, ain't saying nothing, just like this, all of a sudden now. And I'm like, what they just, I'm like, yo, if I put $1 in there, it's a good deed, this, that, and the third. I see what y'all doing. I see what y'all are doing. And because I may not be doing what y'all like, what? I'm not who I am or what I'm called to be or what. Look. Anyway. He should do his good deeds and offer. A lot of people already is so damn prejudiced that they see me in my bags and whatnot. You think they're gonna accept something from me? Oh, but still do it because you never know. Look, man, I don't got time for that, man. The ultimate judge. Tupac made a song. Only God could judge me. Although now I know that there are some things that I still need to become more professed at. And, clean up. Yeah. And discipline. But we all got work to do. And don't think because you have your inheritance that you're better than me. Because y'all was born with that inheritance. Yeah, you were bred into that. And which came by what? Through what? Through the means of slavery. And all the great, wonderful brothers and sisters that are claimed to have patents, but where are they now? And that's something that I put in the video before. Where are these families? Where are the sons and daughters of Lewis Latimer? Madam C.J. Walker. And these are last names of whom? I can go on and on and on. Where are they? Well, how come they're not the leading figures continuously after such wonderful engineered projects and creations or recreations in which they made? Because the Creator created all things. We just happen to remanufacture. We just happen to recreate. We just happen to make. If you know, you know. Folks out there know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, where are they? I mean, we see the Clintons, the Bushes, the Bidens, this, that, and the third. They're continuously all over the media, but all in the light. But where are the ones that? Where are the families that engineered the lights and this, that, and the third, and all these patents that they were given? Where are they today? How come we don't see them? So we can have something more to aspire to and be further inspired and empowered. I don't see it. But we continue to see these European families and people that's coming from other countries and prosper here. Now, don't get me wrong. I know my people, and so do I, may have a degree of, like a sense of entitlement, in which cases we do, because it's even there in Scripture, in which we ought to inherit. But to whom much is given, much is required. That's understood. Because I know there are some Europeans out there that are thriving to please the Creator. They are clean. They practice cleanliness. You know what I mean? Vigorously. So, or not vigorously, but, well, I guess I could use that word and apply it in that sense. But I know that they're out there, and I know that it's difficult to keep going, in part because, like I said, some of them were bred into families of wealth in which they have that luxury of time to further such practices and master it and just make it like it's like second nature. So as much this is a good one here, what I'm about to say. As much as people try to talk, oh, I hear them side talking out there, oh, that's an Uber, because I've gone autonomous, so they think that I'm doo 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 with some kind of aluminum foil hat. Middle finger to y'all. But I mean, there's a lot of things that I be hearing. I'm like, shit, I need to shut the hell up, man. Can't y'all see we got bigger things to worry about and do, assholes? Anyway, so yeah, they actually became autonomous in what they're doing. So goddamn it, if I'm an Uber in whichever case, then so are you. Anyway, it's not bickering here. It's pointing some things out and letting you know in saying such that I am aware. And so it is what it is, right? But lastly, I would have to say, as I want to wrap this thing up, 27 minutes, is that, let me say this. If we don't have each other's back, if we can't be there for each other, I'm mainly talking primarily to my ADOS family, African descendants of slaves, African descendants, black family. And I know it's tough because we're dealing with some things out here. But I'm sorry if I said it and you may picked up some kind of something negative from it. Don't take it like that. It is what it is. If we're going to work hard, we're going to continue to work and thrive to knock that off and get together in righteousness, for righteousness' sake, and we shall begin to harmonize. We need that. Don't let the European world dictate how we do this thing. Because for all that we've been through, for what we have compromised, took the risk we took, and so-called sacrifices made in regards to the collective, what is it do we have? Hence my question, or my quote in form of a question, how come the most melanated continue to live so degenerated? And I give you this, how can we continue to lose the good ones who got knowledge, light, wisdom? They are not as glorified as they should be and put as the headstone of communities. So we can really begin to amplify self-development, development of the mind, have study groups and learning institutions of our own independently, so we can start to terraform this earth. Where are they? How come they dying off? But yet winos and crackheads and predators is out here doing what they do. Filthy people. I'm getting sick of this place, man. I'm getting sick of this place, yo. Seriously. There's a lot of things that I see going on with brothers too, where they feel like they gotta prove their manhood by, just doing silly things, and I think that's because of what they have been, because of what they've been through, in which, and it goes right back to what I'm about to what I've said about the celebrities who's out there in that world. That you know they didn't know what they were getting into, so something was snatched from them. They didn't even know that they was corroborating with the thievery of their own sacred property, that soul. Do you hear what I'm saying, man? So, what do we got? So now they got to walk a certain way to, all these mannerisms and whatnot. I get it. Inflamed egos. They come. They want to drop their bags down on heavy, trying to make a scene that all this type. Come on, man. When it's put in the form of an act, you can tell what it is. But when it's authentic, original, that's the gold right there. That's the gold. That's golden, I should say, rather. That's what's up. But when it's kind of like orchestrated, and you can see like they putting on an act as if a camera is there. Come on, man. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not into no hate speech and nothing like that, because I'm seeing this whole picture. And I know I got more work to do, but I'm telling y'all, we have been and continue to be played with and disrespected in some way, as much as we continue to be scrutinized and surveilled. My African brothers and sisters, trust me. I don't give a look. I know numbers don't lie and whatnot, but like I said, man, how come the most melanated continue to live so degenerated? In this day and age, in which we have many stars, celebrities, basketball players, football, whomever, with all due respect, of course, that's making X amount of dollars. But yet, across this nation in which we all, because, African descendants really come from, we can name 5 major cities within this nation in which we typically reside. So when you got these basketball teams and baseball teams and rappers and hip hop artists and R&B, and we got all this going on, in addition to those who are in the medical field and this, that, and the third across the nation, well, even those who are not making that much, but as a collective, hear me, the politicians out there, Dr. Claude Anderson, William Darity, who know economics and are brilliant men, Cornel West, many others that we can name. As far as the collective, for all the mixing that we have done, especially by the seed of man, the paternal line, what do we have that we could say, yo, boom, we got that community right there. We got this province over here. We got this borough. We don't even have a borough in 2025. Something going on. So we having all this sex with all these women of other nations, giving our seeds off into their land, spiritually speaking here. And what do we get in return? What's the recompense? In which you still got people that come from other countries, thriving businesses, whether small or large, where black people live to this day. Yeah. What you saying? That we don't got the competency? But yet, our stars, and even we are in the ghetto, are still being, to a degree, exploited. Many things that we could cluster from that concept or ideology, that fact that we are still being exploited. How so? I mean, by what means? That means what? Because the European nation got a higher GPA and they were bred into wealth, that they should be able to, do such. They have their allowance and permittance. They are warranted to do. Are you kidding me? Then when are we going to get our independence to do what we got to do here? We start to privatize. And I'm going to tell you something right now. If it's a problem, let's get to work. They messing with you, whoever, call up that mothership. Call up that house. You understand me? Reach out to your elders and those that we got in the community. When we start getting together like that, and we become malicious, it's going down. Especially with all this sex we having, because if sex is a healing, sexual healing, in which it is, sex is the most powerful energy. Then with all this melanin we got and da-da-da-da-da, in addition to the mixing, like I said, see, I'm trying to have y'all see, what is it that we got in this day and age, brothers and sisters, as a collective, even in the ghetto, where they got a whole lot of sexual things taken. What is it conducive to? What is it conducive to, and what is it producing? I rest my case and I'll wait for answers. A lot of people just gonna go on to say, oh, Jesus, this and this, that, and that. I guess. But things are not gonna get better until we start to really become more harmonized. Really have each other's back like never before. Lay aside all that wickedness and come up with a codes of conduct, etiquette, which is very important. We need to come up with our own system. Behaviors, mannerisms will be watched. You will be ranked X, Y, and Z. Do you understand me? Then we're going to terraform and shake things up the way we ought to. Because we don't have no obligation to be trying to rub shoulders, with all respect, due with peoples of other nations. Because if anything, being that the most melanated, the original man and woman done gave birth onto all people, in which we have, they are just of a genetic disposition, study genomes, in which I've kind of touched on in a video where I talked about antibodies and antigens and what those words means and what it really is. And what's up? Who you really think will have an obligation onto us? But don't get me wrong now. Don't think just because you're of dark skin that you should just be given. No, that's not the case. But with that, you have a divine calling. We all do. With this, we sure do. What you mean? Look what we do or what we got, even from the ghetto. But exploitation, criminalization. A lot of our brothers and sisters been victimized, y'all. That's why I got the heart that I got, man. That's probably why I have more without an inch of doubt, man. Without a cloud of doubt, I've come to conceive that some people are given certain spiritual gifts and blessings because of their intent and their heart, where their minds are, where their mind and heart is. You know what I mean? I believe that's how the Creator works, man. When your heart is clean, when your intent is good, although we all gonna have some struggles to manifest certain things, trust me, you'll be given certain things, but now here comes the challenge of the applicability of what you have now versus those who are envious, jealous, and incomprehensive to what's inside of you that's coming out, and that which is shown, which some brothers and sisters got their light. You understand? Exactly why I say humbleness and humility will get us far. But I got love for my brothers in the entertainment field. It's just that, and lastly, I'm gonna say this now, this is wrapping it up, is that because of what they've been through and what they feel that they have to continually indulge in to get some fame, to get some, to keep their finances covered, to gain capital and revenue. Well, certain things is going to continue to take place because we haven't repented, we haven't atoned, make some changes to bring about that reformation and reclamation. There's much things to look at from the top on down, y'all. This is why there are a lot of things that we can certainly question in regards to, uh, you know, our elders in the communities and those of our homes. So it's something that we're up against, as if it's like we can't break from, and I think that's because we haven't really beaten it out yet. Like we haven't defeated it, whatever that thing is, and for those reasons, we continue to be disunified. If there is, I've been told that there is unification out there, and I surely believe that it is. However, this is not me being negative, but this is me seeing and calling out what I see on a daily, that the kind of unification I see out there is based on the auspices of wickedness at the end of the day. Because I can just see on a lot of brothers and sisters where they still indulging in the wicked sexual deviant things. They are still trying to throw off what is it that controls them and moves them to do certain things, allure them. Yeah, I see it even in the glow of some people's eyes. I see all of that out there, but I'm not scared of it. I'm not afraid. I'm not, shooken up by it. If anything, it really irritates me. I'm telling y'all, it's just that I'm trying to learn how to, and I ask God and I pray, like, come on, I got to know what to do here before it could get to bloodshed. Because sometimes, I ain't gonna lie, I'll be ready, yo. Sometimes, there were times where I saw some people on the street and something in me was like, yo, punch them in the face. But I had to, in my head, I was like, yo, what is that? I don't know what they're going through. I don't know what they've been hit with, but yet something is on them. That's exactly why when I talk out in certain places, when I get public with my words and I'm out there, I be telling people, you hear what I'm saying, and you may hear me curse or whatnot, and you hear the frustration in my voice. That's passion. So don't really take what I'm saying personally, because this is really all spiritual. Yeah. But yo, I'm telling you, some brothers got to get dealt with, sisters too. Like, yo, oh man, yo. But yeah, look. Whoa. Oh man, sorry about that. That's a sign. That's a sign. And I'm gonna wrap it up here, man. So, you know what? I would have to say thank you. Thank you so much for coming on in and hearing me out. And as far as the Blue Chocolate Radio, if anybody is, questioning, I am finished with my little intro, and I'm getting closer to it. I just been waiting on certain things, and I've been looking out for certain things in which certain things I haven't received yet, even from the public, those who know me and whatnot. And I continue to do the math. Whoever out there think that I'm blinded, trust me, I'm not. I see a lot of people talk about, a lot of stuff that they say on the side, and I can pick it up. Some people be telling me I'm paying too much attention. No, it's not. Because if anything, I'm on my business. I've been developing sound right reasoning and discernment. So don't try to tell me that I'm paying attention to everything and da-da-da-da-da. Because if it don't apply, let it fly. I don't have insecurities. But there are some things I can certainly pick up into where as to where there's some relevancy, as the sound barrier has been broken. For those who know what that means. So I keep doing what y'all doing. Y'all gonna see what's gonna happen. Coming against me, speaking subversive against me and whatnot. All right. So I don't wish bad on nobody, but I'm like, yo, I done seen some things and how it's being played out here. So with this video here, take what's good and what's not good for you, leave it on the plate. But if it was good, enjoy it. But it's surely soul food. You know what I mean? So we definitely got work to do, and we got to regroup and get together. You know, we need to stop being so damn high-minded of ourselves in certain regard. You know, we got to know how to measure things, man, and development. Yeah, development. It's gonna help us get very far. In addition to humbleness and humility, practice every day, having each other's back and being there for one another. But one of the challenges is to, I guess, this is where people get to talk about, yo, you got to know how to have balance. Well, if we got to know how to have balance, then with all due respect, with all that we have been through, like I said, no matter how you slice this thing, with this melanin and all we've been through, with all the so-called money out there between our brothers and sisters in the world out there, that's with the music and the engineers and the producers and the this and the that, nation to nation, side to side, coast to coast, the bottom to the top. What do we got? So I'll be, I'll be here as long as God give me life, God give me breath, and we can be helped by those of other nations. But we even got to know how to function with that. We got to know how to master that, because some things that they may be doing or look to do is kind of crossing the line. Because some things got to be done by us, FUBU, for us, by us. You understand me? Yeah. We need to get to that. That's what we need. We need the continued big shout out to the Zulu Nation in righteousness. And we got to get a, if there's a FUBU Nation, we got to get a Zulu Nation. We need a FUBU Nation. Yeah. FUBU Nation for the African people. African descent. That's right. Because a lot of them European brothers and sisters, with all due respect, they high-minded because they got what they got. And then nothing makes them feel better to know that they have somewhat of an advantage over us at this particular time because of their inheritance, because of their knowledge, because of their, blessings. But when you break down this pie, when you break down this American pie, you look at where we are. We do the numbers. Trust me, you're going to be surprised as to what you see, and you're going to start to remove yourself from certain people and circles and get with your own, with all respect due, to bring about true reclamation, reformation, and a whole bunch of wonderful words that can be used to bring about our prominence, our divinity, and our calling. And as of yesterday, I saw the first mosquito. Actually, two of them came in the bus as I cracked the window open. Look at that. Here they come, y'all. Anyway, peace, love, and light to y'all. Big shout outs for those who continue to follow me. You know what I mean? To, put the prayers out and support. Trust me, it's all love. And I'm far from done, and I'm not giving up. And things got to get better through and through. It's just a matter of how we doing it. So, to my celebrities out there, y'all hold on strong. And I would have to say respectfully that I know it might be hard to do, but we're going to have to, you guys will also, most definitely, because y'all up on a particular scale. You understand? Revered and glorified and whatnot. And I know y'all dealing with some egotistical issues over there too. And y'all dealing with a lot, not just because of the fame, but also because of I don't even like how celebrities are living by the means of they can't even go to the goddamn corners. They can't even go to the market without being followed. And like, yo, that shit needs to stop. That's a violation. Cameras on them, photos, people. Come on, man. Who wants to live like that? But when they learn in that celebrity field to really get with those who are meaningful, that's not in that Hollywood world, and then we start to have this cohesion and this mind work, and then we start to really do what's in the best interest of who we are, breaking from certain circles and tables. Watch what's going to happen. But it's the love of money that continue to perpetuate our or the degeneracy. Peace, love, and light. I love y'all, man.